Good afternoon everyone, it's Cathy here, welcome back to my channel this Saturday afternoon. I wanted to come along and make another little card using my Time for Tea stamps and die sets that I've bought. This time, instead of a square card or an A5 card, I wanted to use my Slimline die set. We call them DL cards, the Slimline cards in the UK, and obviously on the back here it says simple Slimline nesting dies, so I wanted to use those. And I've been inspired by a lady that I saw on Facebook, on the Time for Tea Designs friends Facebook page, and it was a lady called Jane Vaughan who made a card, a DL card, using some pattern papers with the stamps. So I thought I was going to have a little go and show you my idea of doing something similar, which quite inspired me to use some of my pattern papers. And I've got quite a lot of pattern, if I could get my words out, pattern paper pads in my stash. The one I'm going to be using today is by Kimberly Hodges, and it's this one, and it has lots of different patterns and colours, stripes, and lovely bright vibrant patterns on there. It's a little 6x6 pad, and it's a patchwork. It's Kim Hodges patchwork paper pad. That's the actual collection there, if you can see it. So I was going to be using a piece of paper out of that pad, and this is the one I'm going to be using today to make my houses with. So the two stamp and die sets I'm going to be using from Time for Tea Designs are the Enjoy the Little Things stamps and their matching dies, and the other one is the Sweet Village collection of stamps and dies. So what I've done to begin with, off camera, is made a little DL card, little Slimline card, out of black cardstock, probably about 230, 240 GSM. That's quite a nice base card. And then I used my coordinating Slimline dies to cut out two panels. So I've cut this panel out, and that's the largest one of the set. So I've got a gold panel here, I'm just going to layer up, and then a white panel using the second size, that one, out of the collection. So I've done those off camera, so not to bore you with all the cutting out with the dies, because I'm sure lots of other people know how to cut out with a die cutting machine. So I'm just going to mat and layer my card up. So I'm just going to get some double-sided tape. Quicker to do that process with tape. So I'm going to pop some tape down. Get my trusted handy little pokey tool out of my Cricut set that I like to use. Take the backing paper off of there. Just put a bit straight down the middle. And then I'm just going to line my card up on my grid. Hopefully it's going to be straight enough. Try not to get my head into the camera. Hopefully I haven't. And then just line that up. Probably going to have to stand up for this just to see. Line it up in the middle. Round about there, I think. That's going to be good. There we go, so it just gives me a little black border that you can see just around the edge of the card, around the edge of the gold. And then I'm going to just put my white panel on top. There we go, and then just line my card up on my grid again. Make sure hopefully that's straight as I can get it. And then I'm going to pop that in the middle. Around about there, I think. There we go, so that's the excuse me, that's the base of our card. And then I'm going to take out the stamps that I want to use. So I've decided I'm going to have this big one, the houses, and I think I'll have these 4 as well. There's some of the houses from the Sweet Village set. I'm going to be using the cold 18 dies to cut them out in a minute. So I like to just have a play around to see where I'm going to position my houses. So what I want to do first is just see where the middle of my card is. What I tend to do is just count the squares on my grid. Oh. Excuse me. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 squares. So if we count to 11, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. 11, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So that's the middle one. So I want my middle house to be roughly round about there in the middle. And then I'm going to position my houses, line them up. I think the easiest way I'm going to do that is to get a ruler. Just pop the ruler underneath the bottom of where I want the houses. Hold that there. Just the easiest way for me to do it, and then just line up the houses with the ruler. So that one out there, and then that one can go in just there. and this one just about there, a bit further over. There we go. So that's roughly, leave that one in the middle, roughly spaced out quite nicely, and they're all quite straight. So then I'm going to go with my Enjoy the Little Things stamp set, and I'm going to use a couple of the sentiment stamps here. So I'm going to put just a little Enjoy on there, and I think I'll go for Yourself. So Enjoy Yourself, and I'm going to pop that just in the middle there. So I've positioned roughly where I want them, and so what I'm going to do first, I think, is stamp my images, and I'm going to stamp them twice. I'm going to stamp them so that I can get my sentiments. This is all experimental today. I'm having a go to see if this is going to work. So that's roughly where I want my sentiments to be. Here, and one there. So what I'm going to do is go and get my stamping platform. Just bring everything over to one side, bring my stamping platform in, and the one I like to use is my Tim Holtz stamping platform by Tonic Studios. So here it is, put that into the view. Right, it's on clear stamps, so I'm going to just open that up and just pop my magnets out of the way, and then pop my stamp in, my card in rather, and whoops. Actually, I probably won't, or shall I? No, I probably won't worry about the sentiments, because what I'm going to do is stamp them and cut them out using the dies. And I'm going to do the same thing with the houses, but I just wanted to have a little sort of sort out where I'm going to be laying them. So I thought this might actually be the best thing to do. As I say, it's an experiment at the moment. So then I'm just going to pick up my stamps. Whoops, I can take that magnet out. Pick up my stamps. They're lovely clingy stamps. They're so clingy they actually move the card. So I'm probably going to take those away for now. And then to stamp them, I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo Black Lasting Impressions ink, because it's got the fade resistant dye. So it's also good for when you're using alcohol. So I'm just going to start popping my ink down on my houses. Get a nice covering. Hopefully get a good impression. Now I'm just going to turn that around. Any little bits of ink off of there. Make sure my card is nice and straight, and then bring it down and press it down nice and firmly onto the card. So there we go. So then you can see where your ink hasn't gone down very well. So you just re-stamp. That's a nice part about using these stamping platforms, is that you get an exact impression again without having to reposition them. Put that one down again on there. Give it a press. That's a bit better, and I think maybe that little house there is going to need a little bit more. So I'm just going to give that a tiny bit. It's not because of the stamps, it's probably because my Memento ink is starting to run out because I do use it a lot. So give that another little press. And hopefully we've got a nice, clean, crisp image. Oh, maybe just a little bit more in the middle one as well. Let's get the ink off my fingers. Don't want any of that transferring onto my card. And then give that another press down. And hopefully that will be, yeah, a nice crisp image. So I can take my card out, and as you can see, my houses hopefully are pretty straight, pretty well positioned. And then next what I'm going to do is get my patterned paper, take the patterned paper that I want to use, and then I can do a house in each colour. So what I think I'll do is pop my pattern paper there, put my magnets back in, of course one of the magnets has disappeared. Right, so I'm just going to position where I want my stamps on the pattern paper. Just put my magnets down just to keep the paper in position. So I think I have that one there, and then I'll have that one up here, like that, and then I'm going to have this one probably here, and then I'm going to have this one, I would say probably there. So because they're patchwork, obviously they've got little squares and they're just the right sizes to put my houses, which is perfect. So pick my stamps up. So they're extremely clingy. Let's just move that magnet over to that side. Hopefully keep that there. And then I'm just going to ink up my stamps again. Probably going to have to re-ink my tuxedo black with some new ink at some stage. It's starting to wear out. It does last quite a long time, but it's always a good idea to re-ink. Okay, so I'm going to, oopsie daisy, let's get that magnet out of the way, that would be helpful. Put that where it was before, up there, and then bring my houses down. See how they are. They've gone quite nicely, but I'm just going to give those two a little bit more of a, maybe just that one, a little bit more of a ink up. The others seem to have come out nice crisp images, so just that one. There we go. There we are. Take those out. There we are. And then just bring that down, that's finishing my houses for now. And then I want a little bit of, actually no, I'm going to bring my card in again, because now I know I've got my houses positioned where I want. That's why I stamped it on the black, on the white card rather. So I'm going to bring my card back in again, and I'm going to put that back in my stamping platform. And I'm just going to put, probably won't put a necklace there because it's quite a high card already because it's got 3 layers. And then what I'm going to do is get my Enjoy, so I want to pop that there. Around about there, what's it say? It's so clingy, stick to your fingers. Because there's such good photopolymer. Very good quality. And then I'm going to put Yourself, and I'm going to probably put it about there. Oh, don't want my card to move again. Right, stay there. So that's probably going to be about right. And then I'm going to pick up my stamps. I know it's going to move my card again, so I'm just going to have to pull my card down a bit. There we go. Move my houses to one side. Turn it around again. Just bring my ink back in. Oh, excuse me. Got yet another cold. It's not only COVID going around again this year, but it's so many other colds and viruses. And I think my little granddaughter likes to share most of her viruses and colds with me. Probably taught her to share, but I didn't actually mean with a cold, but never mind. So I'm just going to bring my stamp down, give it a press, and then hopefully we've got a nice crisp image. Enjoy yourself on there. So then the next thing I'm going to do, if you can see that, that looks pretty good, quite happy with that. So I'm going to take my stamps off of my stamp platform, bring that down. Let's put that to one side, and then I'm going to get my trimmer, and I am going to cut out. Let me just put my magnets back on my stamping platform before I forget. I'm going to bring my trimmer over, and I'm just going to cut out my houses. So, one about there, I'm going to give it a little bit more room. There we go. So that's one house. There's one house there. And then this one. Just cut around that. And this little one, just chop off a little bit of the paper that I'm not going to be using. And then we've got another 2 to do. So I've got this one here. There we go. And then my last one. There we go. So there's a little, what have I got? I've got 5 houses, I think. Yeah, 3 or 5 houses there. Okay, so put my trimmer back, and then I'm going to bring my coordinating Sweet Village coordinating dies in. Sorry about the glare there. I'm going to get those out, and then we can see which ones I want to cut out. Let's have a look. Oh, I'm going to have to take the paper, this card out. Stuck in the packet. Oops. It's got a bit of tape. And obviously there's one house that doesn't want to come out. So there we go. Right, so here's a house. So I'm going to just get my wire cutters. And I'm just going to take out the little middle bits, the other dies that are in there, just to chop that off. She says, hopefully. A bit tricky. Actually, it'd probably be easier if I just do it with my fingers, because it's quite thin, so it's quite easy to get the middle of them out. So obviously these are little ones, here are the designs that are in the middle. So just take that out, because all I want is my house on the outside. There we go, so that's one of the houses. And then we've got another one here. So I can do the same thing. Just bend that back, because it's quite, as I say, it's quite easy to bend. I have to find my really thin nose wire cutter pliers. I'll probably take that bit off. There we go, let's put that to one side. There we are. And I think I've got that double one, so I need to get this one. They're the middle, there's like little trees and things in the middle. See if I can do that, it's got a little bit more room there. That's one. Pull that out. Put that to one side. Just going to cut that bit of metal off there. Okay. Make sure I put that in my bin. And I'll just get rid of this little bit here. It's come off, that's good. So we've got the other houses here as well. So I've just got to find out which house fits which die. So I think this one is this one. So I'm just going to line it up. Bit of wire just there. Right, so I'm going to line that up there with the die, get a little bit of tape, just pop that straight over the top, keep it in position. There we go, and then we've got this one. Let's see. Are you that one? Nope, I don't think you are. I think you might be that one. That looks about right. Yeah. Okay, so another little bit of tape. Straight across the middle. So that's two of them ready. And this one, I think, would be this one. So it's a little puzzle. Just sorting out which ones fit which houses. I can go straight over. So I'm just going to turn the tape around. There we go. And then we've got two more. So I've got this one, which I think it's that, because it's a double layer because of the little canopy it's got on the house as well. So put that straight across. And then this one I think must be for this one. So I'm going to line that up as well. and again put another piece of tape straight across there. Okay, so then the easiest thing for me to do is use my Gemini Mini, which is a nice little die cutting machine I've used before when you watch my videos, and it's perfect for little tiny dies like I've got here. So I'm just going to put my Gemini Mini there. It's got nice strong rubber feet that stick to your craft desk, and I'm going to put my first little die into the little sandwich pocket, push it down and run it through. Oh, that's little dies disappearing off the table. That's one, and then this one. So that's my second one. Probably get two in at a time actually, so that's what I'm going to do. I might even be able to get all three, as long as that's not too long. No, I think it might be a bit too long. If I'd cut it a little bit shorter I could have got all three in together. So I'm going to run through these two through. There we go. And then I've just got the last one to do. And I love this Gemini Mini. I'm actually thinking of buying myself the Gemini MIDI, which is the A5 size Gemini die cutting machine. So I've got a couple of big die cutting machines, but I love to have the really tiny one. That's so useful. And I think the mid-size one, the MIDI, would be useful for me as well. And it would work in the same way as the Mini does, so it's lovely quick die cutting, which I like to get quick results with my crafting projects, because I'm a little bit not very patient. When I have something, an idea in my head, I've seen something I want to try out, something that I've seen that I like, I want to bring it to life as quickly as I can. So I don't like to have to wait too much for the end results. Quite impatient. Right, so I'm going to pop this one out. This has got the tape around it, so I probably should have done that, but never mind. If I just tear that bit off, that should come out okay, and then I can just carefully undo that without taking too much of the ink off the stamp. There we go. So if I get rid of my rubbish now, put everything to one side, you can have a look at how the houses have come out. So they've come out really well. I'm really pleased with those. Come out nicely out of the pattern paper, so it gives it a little bit of a different idea. Let me just zoom that in a little bit so you can see. Oh, move my houses up there a bit more. And zoom it in a little bit so that you can just see that. It gives it a bit of a different look instead of using markers or watercolour pens or pencils or something like that. So then I can bring my card back in, and I can then pop my houses on. So I'm going to have one house here, and I'm going to have one house here, and then the middle one in there, like so, and the yellow one. And I think that gives a really nice look, and it gives us a new idea to use for our pattern paper. So thank you very much, Jane Vaughan, for giving me this idea and inspiration. Lovely, I really like that. So I think then, just to finish it off, what I'm going to do, obviously I'm going to glue down my houses, and then what I will probably do is from my, which one is it from? It's from the Sweet Village stamp set. Let me just put a piece of card behind it so you can see. From the Sweet Village card set, there is also these tiny little ice creams and sweeties and little tiny coffee frappes here. So what I think I will do, I'll probably just stamp a few of those around and see what that looks like, and maybe colour them in. So that's what I'm going to do next. So what I'm going to do that is bring in one of my stamping blocks. Now I haven't got any of the acrylic clear blocks. I use, when I'm using my stamp platform, I use what I bought a long time ago from Crafter's Companion, and they're called rocker blocks, and they come in various sizes, and they're still acrylic. They're purple acrylic for stampers, for Crafter's Companion, and they come in different sizes. So I've got a really tiny one for my tiny stamps, or I've got a really big one, and then I've got a medium sized one. And these are really good because it's exactly what they say they do. So what you do is you put your stamp just on the top, like so, and that sticks nicely, clings very nicely. And then we can get our black Memento ink again. Pop some ink on my ice cream. Make sure I haven't got any ink anywhere else, because that's one thing it will do, is obviously pick up the ink if it's anywhere else on the platform. And then just start my little ice creams. I might just leave it with ice creams and sweeties, I think. So I'm going to randomly do some ice creams, different places. Make sure I've got no ink anywhere else because I don't want that transferring to the card. Put one there. Go. There we are, and then I'm going to swap that over, or maybe put another one down there, perhaps. Just one down there. All the ink off of there because I don't want it transferring to my card, and I'm going to pop one maybe here. These stamps are lovely, they give you absolutely great results each time. As I say, they're really good quality for photopolymer. Lovely. I'm going to get that bit of ink off, because if I put that rocker piece down on my card, I'm going to get a big black splodge and I don't want one. Right, so I'm going to pop him maybe there. There we go. And then, oops, I think I might have got a bit. And then I'm just going to swap it over, put my little sweetie down. I'm going to put him that way, I think. There we go, make sure there's no ink on the rocker bits. Dry it off, and then so I want sweetie there. Sweetie there. Sweetie there. Maybe one just at the end here. Just here. And then perhaps one more, just in the middle of those two ice cream cones. Just about there. There we go. So I think that's about okay. I think I'm happy with that. So then what I'm going to do, oops, I need to get all the ink off, put all over my craft desk. Excuse me for 1 second. There we go. And then I'm going to bring some pro markers in. So I'm going to use this one. This one is honeycomb, and I'm going to use that just to colour in my cones with my ice cream. There we go, and the last one there. Oops. Oops, there we go. And then my sweeties, I want some sweetie wrappers. So I think I'll have red sweet, no I won't, I'll go for perhaps a blue sweetie wrapper. And the blue I used for that, and I'm going to do one up here as well. Actually, I might keep all my sweetie wrappers the same colour. So I'm going to have blue. On all of them. And then I'm going to use a nice pink, I think. Let's just see if I can find a nice pink colour. What's that one? Oh no, that's amethyst. So that's pinky purple. So I'm going to use that for my ice cream. So I'm going to have one of those, and then we're going to have chocolate ice cream, I think, on this one. And then perhaps a nice mint one, and that's the soft green I'm using. So nice minty green ice cream. Let's colour that bit in a bit better. And then we want a vanilla, because obviously lots of people like vanilla. So I'm going to have a vanilla one up here. There we go. And then I think I might have another strawberry one. Strawberry or blueberry one there. I'll stick my hoses down in a minute. Now we want, I think I'm just going to do my white, red. So I'm going to do my sweeties. They're going to be in red and white. Like that. There we go, and then over here, and then one here. Okay, so the last thing I've got to do then is just glue my houses down. So I'm going to take the houses off again, get a little bit of glue. Again, my favourite one is the Art Glitter glue because it clears nice, it dries nice and clearly. And I'm going to make sure that my glue's coming out, which it is. Fabulous. So I just put a nice even layer of glue down. And I think I quite liked the idea what I've done by stamping them first so that I know where I can position them on the card. Gives me the idea of, shows me that I've got it in the right place for where I want it. So that's my first house. I think I'm probably going to do that again with other images that I stick on. Stamp it onto the card first, exactly where I want it, and then put them on. Simple but very effective idea. I'm going to line that one up. There we go. And then the middle one. Nice thing about the glue, obviously it gives you the bit of wriggle room that you need, just so you can line it up when you want it. Okay. Oh, got little bits of glue on my finger. Oh, that's not good. Oops. And then the last one. Pop it down there. There we go. Okay. Oops, let's just wipe. Go off the end of my nozzle. Let's pop that pin back in just before it dries out. There we go. So there we are. That's the finished card. And it just says, enjoy yourself. So you could use it for a Mother's Day card, because Mother's Day is coming up. You could just put enjoy yourself and then pop a little insert in there and put enjoy yourself mum. Or it's just for anyone to brighten up their day. So thanks very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Perhaps press the subscribe button and press the notification bell so that you get notified next time I upload a video. It's been really lovely joining you today. Okay, thanks very much. Take care, and as always, happy crafting.